The Force is back. The rebels won't tire until they see the vile gangster Jabba the Hutt fall on the all-new Jabba's sail barge. Vehicles and action figures each sold separately.
Hello folks, Tonobi2 here. Thank you for joining me once again on another visual tour. Today's episode, Jabba's sail barge. It has finally arrived, backed by Haslab, and this thing is huge. I couldn't believe how freaking tall this thing is. I'm standing right next to it just for comparison. I knew what the dimensions were, but seeing it in person is a completely different experience. My barge didn't suffer too much damage. It came from Cali. I live in Nevada, so I just wanted to show to the viewers. I did suffer a few dings to the box. This one was a little bit concerning. There was one on the top. Just because I know that there's a lot of collectors out there that were really concerned if Hasbro, if they were going to do a good job in packaging. That being said, it is double boxed, so mine was intact, perfect. The markings on it: Jabba's sail barge, the KHETANNA, box says toys, action figures, and I also wanted to share with you guys, I did invest in a couple more of these, and it looks at one point during their production they switched packaging, so I don't know what that means. I don't know what the conspiracy is, if it's a different batch, if it's a different factory, why this box only has one black stripe while the other one has a purple stripe. I have no clue. I just wanted to point that out to you collectors out there if it means anything. If it does, let me know in the comments below. That being said, I want to start playing with this thing. Pull out the hobby knife here and let's start cutting into it. And like I said, the only reason I know it's double box is because it was shared by collectors on Yakface, yakface.com. I do tend to troll Yakface from time to time. This is the second layer box, very generic. It's more of a protection. I love it. I dig it. I'm going to be extremely careful as to not damage the artwork box that's underneath it. You can see how I'm very meticulously trying to be as careful as possible. I'm excited. This is cool. I've waited a year for this thing, and I am bombarded by this beautiful artwork graphic. The video doesn't do it justice. It kind of like popped at me when I took the flaps and opened it. It's neat. They did a really good. I really dig this. I really like what they able to do with the artwork on this. Now the tricky part is that this thing is heavy, 32 pounds. So I'm trying to be as careful as possible. I'm trying not to ding the artwork box or scratch it, because I don't know how, but I do want to display this box. First thing that pops into my view is this special insignia from Haslab right there. It's a powered or designed by Haslab. I thought that was neat. It's kind of like an embossed foil sticker. There's the Yakface sticker on there, Power the Force coin. That is one of the images on the box, and then if you carefully flip it, because I'm trying not to scratch the box, this is cool. I like how they encourage you and to use your imagination as the multiple possibilities of how you can display your barge. Hint, hint, buy more action figures. It's okay. You build it and we shall come. Of course we're going to buy more action figures. If you make something this badass and cool, yes, we're going to suckers for it. I also like the classic 1980s Kenner design here with the black and white. When you used to get those vehicles back in the 80s, used to come in that generic box. Black and white, no color. I like this. This is nice too. This is really nice. Overall, the box, I mean, they put as much love into this artwork box as they did the barge. So I just wanted to show that to you folks out there. This is really, really neat how they were to pull this off. Now I took about a few minutes here. I did some quick cuts because I wasn't sure how to actually open this box. There are flaps, and I was trying to be as careful as possible. I don't want to rip. I don't want to damage this particular box. I think this particular box is as much character as the actual barge is. And you can kind of see how it uses some sort of interlocking flaps. Pops open right there, and we are greeted by the special edition Yakface with the collector's coin on there. Ooh, as I'm carefully pulling it out. Very nice, very neat. I will not be opening this because I already have the regular vintage jack face that I'll be using on this barge. And all the way on the opposite side is Jabba. Hello, good evening, Jabba. Very nice. They say this is the best good-looking Jabba we're gonna get in the 3 3/4 inch scale. This is my first Jabba. No, it's not. I remember I got 2 of the Jabbas from like the Phantom Menace and so forth. So I haven't collected a Jabba since then. I am stopped by a warning there, stop sign. Please read before unpacking, and I actually will. I don't want to break anything. I pulled it out, and it's the instructions. And for you folks who were not able to back the barge, the Haslab actually provided these instructions in a PDF form a few weeks prior, to get the fans excited and to print it out. I kind of regret not printing that out. That way I didn't have to, break this seal on it and so forth. But I did sit down on the carpet and I did read through this. I wanted to make sure I was doing this right. This is an expensive piece, and I wanted to make sure I was going to assemble this as properly as possible, as correct. Oh, sorry, I get. She was curious what I was doing. I told her I was unboxing Daddy's toy. Anyway, here, this was tricky. This, like I said, it's heavy. It's box and packaging. It's close to 32 pounds, and I'm just really just trying to be as careful as possible. With the plastic and so forth, I did pull out the knife and just cut the straps and pulled the little plastic. And I guess these plastic, I would assume these plastic straps were there so that the barge flaps, the panels that attach to the barge, don't fly off during packaging or shipping. And I'm picking it up and I'm going to lay it on the floor because I want to attach the plastic pegs. And since I have it in the carpet, I might as well show you an aerial view. And you can't tell me, look at this. Look at the amount of work and detail that Hasbro did with the paint application. You know very well that if they put their mind to it, they can do a very kick-ass job with the paint application. And this just proves it. So when they half-ass it in other vehicles and so forth, they're just taking shortcuts. And when they put their mind to it, it's gorgeous. The weathering, the paint application. I mean, I haven't seen any complaints as far as the paint schemes that they've used. The box underneath the barge has all the accessories. It's the soft goods sail and the barge fins that'll attach on the back portion there, and there's the cannon. And I'm looking for the pegs because I want to get the pegs installed so that I can put it back on the table so that I can finish building it. So there you go. And I know these are the pegs because I've seen enough promo videos to know that they are. And just carefully attaching each of the legs. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but applying all that weight to the tip there, like the Titanic. And back on the table it goes. Careful. And I also want to show you the underbelly of this barge. They put as much work and detail. Again, A+ over here. Hasbro, you are winning me over so far. Look at that. That's cool. That is cool. Yeah, they didn't even skip on the underbelly there. What else we got here? Oh, and then the paint scheme, like I was telling you. This is the Nautilus, which has a copper tone to it. It's very similar. The barge has more of a brownish, slight copper hue to it. But I like it. I really do. I'm going to have to go back to the film and see how close they came to it. I don't see any type of discrepancy with the color on it. It works. It's not, it's not deceiving at all. Jabba's dais. And I'm very careful. I know these panels pop off, so I'm not exactly sure how. So I'm just very gently, don't want to break any of the little plastic clips that may keep these panels attached to the barge. So I'm just trying to be as gentle as possible. I don't know what shortcuts Hasbro may have taken. This is neat. I had to pull out the flashlight here because you can see how they added the rust paint to those panels. A lot of the weathering and the rust inside Very detailed inside. It's a little bit dark in there. I didn't bring the proper light, so I just pulled the flashlight out here. Jabba's dais, the panels to the window that do open. You can see which panels open up. And then that is the Rancor statue, which you can see in Return of the Jedi in the actual film. Front panel does pop up, and I'm going to go guerrilla style here. I'm going to disengage the camera and do a little bit of pan in here with it, and just kind of showing you that the amount of detail they added to this cockpit. This is impressive. They put a lot of work into this thing. The top deck, and then that front perspective view. That is neat. That is neat. And Jabba's dais, and you can see the little string keeping. I don't know if I'm going to remove that string or not. I probably should. And what else we got here? Little bar pillars there to keep your drinks. The kitchen, the galley. This is neat. This is really neat. And then again, like I was mentioning earlier, the windows do, not all the windows though, but some of the windows do open. I noticed in the second flap that there was only one that actually only does open. But for the most part, it's neat. It gives you many possibilities on how to actually display this. But this is the centerpiece where it's just one window, which I thought was odd. I would just do one window. It just doesn't make any sense. Is that the window that the guard comes out? Now I'm going to, we're moving on to building the sail barge. And I'm going to tell you right now, if there's one complaint I'm going to give the barge, is this right here. This right here is a pressure point. This is the piece of plastic, doesn't seem very sturdy, where you would stick one end of the pylon to the other end, and it's pressure kept. It's kept by taunt pressure, and it looks right there, and it has me concerned because it looks as if the years go by, you see all that stress on that soft goods cape. It looks like with time this could warp, damage, and break. So I would exercise some caution as to how long you'd want to display it with the actual sail, because I do foresee some damage there. The cannon looks exactly the same as the one that came with the Power of the Force Leia back in the 90s. If you guys remember that. If you guys are Star Wars collectors, you know you collected that Leia that came with this cannon, with the barge cannon. It looks exactly the same. I don't have that one anymore, but it seems like it is. And I'm attaching the sails, and everything else so far so good. I'm jumping back and forth because it's really overwhelming. It really is, and I decided to put Jabba in. I think Jabba should go on his dais right now. Solo. All right, let's get the cannon on the top deck there, and it snaps right on there. I want to adjust it. That's neat. Aim the cannons to the deck. That's cool. So you put Leia on there, and you get some chains, and you get 2 deck cannons on there, which are, I wasn't going to display, but I decided, I'm going all out. I'm going to display the cannons on the top deck. It's pretty easy. There's little holes on the railings that it just slips right on. It's kept in with a pressure point there. You can adjust it accordingly. And going on the other side, you can see a little peg. So I'll have to get some of his goons displayed there. And now I'm going to attach all the panels back. And I'm studying this. I'm trying to be as careful as possible. Again, there's little tiny plastic clips, and there's a certain way to put the panels back. I just don't want to break those little plastic clips. I'm not saying that it's broken on me. I'm just saying I'm being extremely careful. I've collected Hasbro products before in the past. I know how these things work. The sail straps, got those attached. Those are pretty easy. And again, that pressure point, I'm still concerned about that. You can see how it's starting to kind of warp and bend right there. Again, that if I had to give one strike on this barge, it's probably that. Everything else is great. They've done a phenomenal job in design, paint application, everything. It's a gorgeous piece. It's just a sail. The sails, I feel like those sails are gonna strike back. No pun intended. Let's add the barge fins, and masterpiece is almost done. And then the christening will be done by yours truly, C-3PO and R2-D2. Why not? Why not? Yeah. Yeah, this is neat. I wonder why there's a piece of that ledge missing there. Overall it's a gorgeous piece. Other than the sails, I love it. It is a grand showpiece. If you're able to back it, my God, it's gorgeous. Folks, as always, like, subscribe, leave your comments below. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and finish playing with it and getting some action figures on there and kind of decking it out. See ya.